Welcome back to AI War 2, everybody. Today we're going to take a look at how to attack well beyond simply moving in and indiscriminately trying to slaughter everything. So here we are in Blue Wonder, the first planet that we need to capture, right next to Omega G, our homeworld, right there. Fleets are ready on the doorstep, and I say fleets because I've built custom one. If we take a look here, changed our normal fleet to strike fusion, the two fusion bombers, and I built a custom one, fusion par for fusion parasitic bombers. And the reason for that is that the bombers are really good against structures. They'll do extra damage to the hull if any target has shields above 50%, and all of these have high shields as guard posts. But the parasitic ones cannot turn most structures, including guard posts, into zombies. So they're better used against the other ships. And in general, if you have ships of different types, ships that you want to fill a different role in a battle, then you should have them in separate fleets, because the fleet's basic purpose is essentially, among other things, transporting your ships around, etc., but it's the control group. So I've got a 1 and a 2 here for those two, and they're ready to jump in. But we don't want to do that quite yet because we want to consider where we are going to attack. So if we look at the planets, we've got different guard posts, etc. And I actually think it's not supposed to work this way because you can't see the stealth guard post actually on the screen, but you can actually find it. Because if you can see that it's here, and then if you click on it, it'll center you over where it is. And let's say we moved in this way, and then we wanted to see a little bit closer where it is. Okay, it's right in this area. So it's right below this particular pike guard post. And so I'm sure that's a sort of a loophole exploit that will be plugged, but for the time being, it's here. Notice we can also see move orders and what things are attacking, orders in general. You see it says orders to move there on the Concussion Guardian. But the main thing we want to consider is what in these guard posts is the most threatening. Because before we've just gone through and indiscriminately attacked, some of them are going to be worse against what we're using, some are going to be better. What do we have around? Well, they've got a bunch of MLRS turrets, and they just basically are good at attacking things that are already heavily damaged and crowd control. Okay, MLRS guard post, same thing. All right. Then, and being a crowd control guard post, by the way, is not the best for what we're attacking with, because we're attacking with a bunch of strike craft, but I'm not horribly concerned about them. They'll definitely be able to attack a lot of ships at once. The pike guard post. If the target has armor of at least 90, well, our current armor on all of our strike craft, the fusion stuff, is 60. So we don't have to worry about that. But the ones that are healthy, it'll do, double damage to the hull. So that's not good. And then, of course, they do attack with 10 attacks at once, so they can attack a significant amount. The stealth guard post, you do not want to run into it right away. As you can see, we don't want to hit it in the first 9 seconds. Well, we're not going to have to worry about that. Otherwise, not a huge amount of damage. Concussion guard post attacks 10 different targets. If they have armor of at most 50 millimeters, we don't. We have 60. So we avoid the worst consequences of them as well. And the nucleophilic is best against high energy stuff. So all of these bonuses actually really don't apply to what we have, which is really nice. The pike and the MLRS guard posts worry me a little bit, but it's all relative. All of these things are Mark 1. It's a Mark 1 planet. So does it matter where we attack? It certainly does. If we look at the ranges, you can see like this one is covering the command station. It's covering this, covering this. This one's really only covering this almost up there. Same here. This one's kind of off here on its own. This one covers this over here. So there's some intersection, like especially since we know the stealth guard post is down here. Like this is the biggest concentration of force that they have. Want to be careful in going into that area. And then the other consideration is threat. They already have 6. We don't want to increase it anymore if we can avoid it. And if they start trying to run away, well, where will they run away to? They'll run away to Tamaria, because if they run away to Omega G, well, that's running from the frying pan into the fire. Our turrets will smash them. We're not worried about that. So the only place we're worried about them running away is here. Therefore, stands to reason it would probably be a good idea for us to try to secure this wormhole and then work our way through clearing out the rest of the system. Now, as we go through all of this, you also want to remember that if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. But also, no plan is expected to survive contact with the enemy either. You've got to have a plan, but then think on your feet a little bit too. We've got the Devour Golem out there. We've got Marauders. We've got the Hunter and Warden fleets for 2 different AIs. We've got the Human Resistance fighters that could show up to help us. We could have all or none of those things involved in any battle. So you've got to be prepared and flexible with all of that. And then you might think, why do you even care about any of this? It's a Mark 1 planet, just go in and smash. Well, it's good to be in a habit of trying to find the best way of attacking things simply as an intellectual exercise. But also, if you continue the chess comparison, there's a former U.S. chess champion from decades ago, Sam Reshevsky, and he always said that thinking that any move is good enough for a current situation is the best shortcut to find the one move that isn't. And that was true in chess, and not to the same degree, but it can be true in AI war. If you don't respect the enemy, then you're going to end up not respecting the enemy in a situation where it could be really painful for you. And so it's better to spend a little bit of extra time thinking about what you're going to do than it is to just jump the gun and rush in and then... So my goal is to secure the wormhole area. And in order to do that, I think that the most isolated thing for me to attack is the concussion guard post, because this covers this area and there's nothing that covers it. So what's the best way I can get over here while taking the least amount of fire? That's the next question. And honestly, I think I want to come up through this way. Maybe here, up through this way, and then down that way after I get over here. That's probably the best path. And so in AI War 2, they have something that was not available in the first game Classic, which is cross-planet moves. If we select our fleet, and we simply move them here, right from this screen, I do not even have to leave this planet. I simply select the fleets, and they will come through. Now notice, if I had everything together in the same fleet, then once my ship started rebuilding, it would be dumping them all into the same groups. And that's basically why you want to use your fleets as control groups. You can give them separate standing orders down here, separate move orders, and you don't have to keep worrying about constantly giving those orders to the new ships as they are built. So let's get this show on the road. And here they go.
Taking fire behind enemy lines.
All right, so now let's just move everybody over to the edge of the system. And here comes this concussion guardian. We're going to ignore the, human resistance fighters arriving to enforce Blue Wonder, and they're heading right where I wanted to. I'm just going to head down there a little more quickly now. They're probably going to get wiped out because I didn't bring much. Yeah, but it's a good idea when they show up to try to help them out, because the longer they last, the more they're going to help you. In general, unless you have them set really high, they're not going to help a huge amount. But, I mean, the enemy shooting at them is better than the enemy shooting at you. It's still very useful to have them around. So we're going to slide down here and unload. Okay, now when you unload your ships, you get that 6-second time period where you can't do anything. And then what do we want to do with our ships here? Well, we definitely want the bombers to knock out the guard post. And then we want the other group to be on attack, move, and then working on the enemy ships.
Absolutely, mate.
Because then they can hopefully turn some of them into zombies. And after our delay period is up, we will start shooting. There we go. And then everybody's going to move in here. Whoops.
Right away, sir.
Let's knock all these out.
Right.
I'm not sure why they didn't quite attack those, but nonetheless, we got them. Okay, so now what? Well, these are flying off this way, and we've got... Oh, they've got 2 concussion guardians now? They must have got another one on reinforcement. I don't have a better idea. So let's take all of our fleets up there and go ahead and attack that way.
We're onto it.
Now, they notice the flagship's getting ahead of our ships. I personally like to put everything on group move so that they will move at the same speed as everything else. There we go, and we look at that. We got one Guardian zombified. Its shields are not looking good, but nonetheless. Now, I think they wiped out all of our resistance fighters. Okay, so in this area now, they're barely covering this from here. They're not covering it from there. And we've got the command station. Now, we could wait, but I don't see any reason to do that. I want to knock this out, the nucleophilic post, and then the command station itself. And that way, we're clearing out this area. Again, we're defending this wormhole. No threat can escape this way. So our bombers are going to head here.
Explosions in 5.
And then those parasitic bombers are going to head right in the middle and shoot anything that comes out. There's a couple zombies showing up. And we're wiping things out. The zombies are going... Oh, there's another one of the human resistance fighters. And let's see. Okay, yeah, because the zombies will also... One of the things they'll do is they'll trigger all of these guys. So what I'm going to do now, let's just send the fusion ones off to knock out another station. And then the other group, I just kind of want them to play center field, right in here. And I also think I'm just going to have them knock out the command station, because why not? There we go. We've explored additional planets. We don't care. Let's have our fusion bombers go knock this out. Whoops. I didn't want you to go over there. You come back here. So that can get interesting if I'm, sending ships off to do something that I don't necessarily want everybody to go. Make sure you're giving the orders to the right group of ships. And of course, we're getting stuff rebuilt by the ships in our home system. Okay, so we've done a good job securing this end. They've got a couple raiders up here. I don't see any reason not to try to take on this big mess, because that's where most of the remaining resistance is. These can keep those busy, that's fine. This can wait till later. But I don't think we benefit at all now because we're attacking from the side of the wormhole. Oh, hold on. Look at this. Ranger Mark 1 of AI Hunter Fleet. A sniper unit. Well then. Let's just see if we can make your acquaintance with our parasitic bombers. And given that's the case, I'm actually going to move these ships up here, knock those out, and just sort of wait on these. Because I want to go down here with all of my force to attack that group at once. But I don't want to send my regular bombers after that. There we go. Now, this infinite range ship is going to strike at stuff all over the place. Let's just wait till we clean up these. There we go. And yep, we're releasing all kinds of fun things. Let's bring them back here. So let's combine our forces. And let's see, maybe we'll move you a little bit closer. Move you down here. You know what, let's go up that way. Let's clean out them. So, I mean, you're just basically looking to isolate enemies wherever you can. And then clear them out.
We'll be
There we go.
wheelies.
And now, again, we're probably going to want... There's a whole bunch of stuff in this area. Let's send our main fusion bombers down there. And then you come here and take out whatever. We're going to take a lot of fire. But I'm confident we are equal to the task. We want to keep... The main thing I want to do is I want to keep my regular bombers hammering on all of the defenses here. Concussion guard post, gone. Now I want to hammer the pike. And then I'll hammer the stealth. And then the turrets are next after that.
We'll take them down.
So you just want to eliminate the most dangerous threats. Then work your way down. And
Consider it done, mate.
you can see that some of them tried to run. So we got a little bit of escaping. But the only thing that's left, really, is this up here.
You heard the commander, chaps.
So everybody can go up there and knock that out. Let's just do that a little bit faster. There we go. And so there is sort of our unnecessarily efficient capturing of Blue Wonder. Now, how do we want to defend this system? We're planning on taking Tamaria. We don't expect there are going to be any waves to hit this planet. The defense, main choke point defense is going to be out there. That means we want an economic station. Where do we want to put it? Well, this is a wormhole defense system. And it's a great one because you can see way over here to way over here. Our main goal in this system, if anybody comes in here, we want to stop them from reaching the home world. So we just plant our command station directly in front of it. And then we'll set up our turrets facing this way. Okay, now here is Tamaria, and we'll get into the ships that we captured in Blue Wonder and the defenses in that system at another time. But I kept the fleet separate. They're pretty good ships for just dealing with enemy ships as opposed to structures. And we got a bigger group of human resistance fighters that came in here. We knocked out a guard post up here. They're all MLRS in this system. The only thing to concern ourselves with is all these grenade launcher turrets around this post down here. But then this started happening. A much more substantive response by the AI hunter fleet. So we got people helping us. We got people flooding it against us. It is just one big mess. And so essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring down my bombers, which are taking kind of a beating here, and have them help knock out what they can of these structures. There we go. That one's gone. Let's knock out this one.
Bombing run.
There we go. And oh my, okay, we got a whole bunch of hunter fleet ships and everything else. We're going to run away from the other guard posts for now. We just want to run away. Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't want to let this happen. They're going through into Blue Wonder. Okay.
Enemy activity on border planet.
Now, I think that you know what? We might want to just take a look at what's going on in there for just a second. I think we're going to be okay if we can blockade this wormhole. Now, what we've got here is an economic command station. You can see here's our frigates out this way. We've already transported one of those. They got a gravity guardian. They've got some things. But I think we're going to be okay here. Now, we only have the 5 pike turrets and the 1 tractor array. So if we can keep most of them away, we'll be okay. But, you know, again, this is the kind of thing that can happen. They're trying to slip past our defenses. So what I want to do here is just blockade this entry and fight off, you know, whatever's going to come in here from the hunter fleet. And so you can see that we didn't see anything like this the entirety of the first game. And we are 15 minutes into this one, and we're already starting to have a little fun. Slow this down to normal speed. And let's see what we've got. Paralysis Guardian, I think, is a good thing to get rid of.
Oh, you know we'll blow that up, sir.
Let's focus fire on that. There we go. Now that's on our side. And they've got a bunch of stuff over. Yeah, more of them.
Will be a pleasure.
I want to try to convert and or destroy these Guardian ships. So I think that's going to do as good as anything for us.
On it.
Science teams have gathered all available knowledge in this system.
Tractor Guardian. Yeah, let's get rid of that too.
Absolutely, mate.
We'll be there shortly.
That's our new fleet that we've uncovered. Okay. So I think we're going to do fine here at fighting this off. And let's just make sure everybody's okay in Blue Wonder. Blue Wonder's going to get a wave of 4 strength. We've got enough in here to defend against that, I do believe. And they've got a whole bunch of fun things here. Pike corvettes. But we should be able to fight them off. Again, I'm not concerned about it. And if that wave starts to cause some damage, we can always just pop back in from Tamaria. And we should be able to clean this up now that the Hunter fleet has had their say. But we've definitely got to watch out for them. And they had no trouble cleaning the clock of the human resistance fighters and causing us some significant losses as well until we got things under control. All right, so now we are all set up in Tamaria, and this is going to be the strong point of our defense for the foreseeable future. In fact, it probably will be our most important defensive system in the entire game. So we've got our new logistics upgraded system here. I've moved the support fleet and the battle station in here. I've added all those turrets in, which means we've taken them down in Omega. But you know, this is going to be where the attacks are going to come. This is where we need them. Now, we've got a wave coming here of about 12 strength, and we need not concern ourselves with that. We can easily defend against that possibility. One sort of amusing, interesting thing is that we actually zombied a AI sentry frigate, and since they can't traverse wormholes, the thing's just going to sit around here until it gets destroyed. So later on, we'll get into all the fleets that we have, but I've built all the frigates I can here. The assault frigates, the sentry frigates, every last darn thing that I can throw at this defense. And this sort of shows the issue I was talking about earlier. We've got spiders here. We've got the MLRS, nucleophilic pike here, much like we had in Omega G. But then we've got 2 sort of branching paths here of the shorter range stuff. We've got paralysis mines out front. We've got tachyon arrays and tractor arrays. And then we've also got some gravitational generators, which will slow things down further. And of course, all of these are targeted so that they have similar, like they want to end right about here where the mines are. So they've got similar range. It looks like I put that gravity maybe just a bit too far back, so it could be a little bit more optimized. But in general, that's the same idea. And you can see the ranges of these longer turrets can cover both approaches. And we will definitely be boosting this if we need to. Now you can see we've got over 600K in the banks. We've got plenty of energy between the Economic Command Station and Blue Wonder giving us 400K and everything else that's going on. So we can support our fleet and quite a bit more. So now we are prepared with our homeworld buffer and our choke point. We've got a bunch of planets that were scouted between these 2 acquisitions. We've got to figure out what's going on with that. Where are we going to expand further in the galaxy? What other things do we want to knock out? We've got a distribution node in here as well. Paid the 1 AI progress to get some extra hacking and science. But it's time to look a little bit further forward in our strategy. The early game for this run is well underway. And we'll be looking at more of that when next we return. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. War 2 will continue.